A lot of people want the government back in housing so they can continue to ride the construction money train. But the problem was government involvement in the first place. The government told Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to buy up whatever loans were out there, regardless. Bad credit, no job, no down payment, perfect, no problem. The free market would have never done this. When mortgage brokers got wind of this, it was a feeding frenzy. They would make loans to anyone. Eventually they ended up with a bunch of loans that no one would ever want. Enter credit default swaps, etc. Eventually the American people are buying this debt, not, of course, of their own free will. Why? Maybe because the last 4 CEOs of Goldman Sachs went on to work in the hierarchy of government. Maybe we need to close this revolving door between our banks and government. Probably take a break and get more applause.
Get rid of Geithner!
There are people that say the reason the construction is stopped is because they can't get financing. But in reality, the reason they can't get loans is because they would be bad investments. There is no market for their product. The housing bubble has grown so large that no banks want to invest in what they realize is a bust. We have to let the housing market correct naturally when the free market will take over. A more affordable house will be a no-brainer for a loan. But if the Fed keeps injecting money in the banks in an effort to keep bubbles inflated, we are going to suffer the consequences for a long time to come. In the end, who pays the interest to the Fed? The taxpayer. Sounds like a pretty good gig if you can keep it printing money out of thin air and charging people interest for the trouble. What our biggest worry should be is the increase in debt. When Congress spends more money than they take in, the difference has to come from somewhere, and that's where the Federal Reserve comes in and prints money, thus increasing our debt to them. Currently, we are paying $400 billion a year in interest on the money they create. Our government has made a point of upping the debt limit to $13 trillion, so when we carelessly spend even more, we can pay more like $600 billion a year in interest. Not only that, we are now having the money taken back they are giving to their friends at Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, and we have the nerve to ask, how specifically are you spending our money? They say, sorry, this is private business. Well, ladies and gentlemen, enough is enough. It is time to audit the Fed. The Federal Reserve, in conjunction with fractional reserve banking, are the world's largest Ponzi scheme, and we are being played. We need to contact congressmen from all over the country, not just this area, and get co-signers for HR 1207. Find out more about that at ronpaul.com. That's basically my whole speech. That being said, I'm running for city council here in Dallas.